Houston police say there may have not have been a burglary after all at the campaign headquarters of mayoral candidate Tony Buzbee.
Officers spent the day investigating. This story tops your 90-second nightcap.
Staffers reported they found the door to the office pried open when they arrived at work. But now police say there may not have been a burglary at all. Investigators say there are no signs of any forced entry and nothing appears to be missing from Buzbee's campaign office. Police are checking footage, though, from nearby surveillance cameras just to be sure.
Senator Lindsey Graham announced a new resolution condemning House Democrats for conducting closed-door depositions as part of the impeachment inquiry.
What they're doing is selectively leaking the information to drive the president's poll numbers down and to drive the momentum for impeachment up.
President Trump has been pushing for Republicans to fight back against the impeachment investigation. Mourners in Washington gathered on Capitol Hill to honor Congressman Elijah Cummings, who died last week at the age of 68. A funeral will be held in Baltimore Friday, where former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama will eulogize the public servant and civil rights champion.
Thick smoke clouds the sky over California wine country. Wildfires began racing through Sonoma County overnight, driven by winds up to 70 miles per hour.
Vineyards can definitely be a good fire break. They don't have a lot of ground fuel.
The local utility company has cut power to the area to prevent the electrical grid from sparking more fires.